Year 2030, and all we thought our biggest problems would be AI, climate change, and pandemics. It turns out humanity's biggest enemy is themselves. Nations were not destroyed ceremoniously by bombs, but by death and bankruptcy. All the world's resources were auctioned off to the wealthiest of people around the world, initiating the start of an era for the Global Governing Program, GGP. The votes within GGP are on sale like stocks, and the more wealth you have, the more power and influence you possess. I mean, for a common citizen, the change was not that drastic, but the mask of the powerful elite was officially off. Times of great change is also a breeding ground for dangerous and harrowing individuals to prey on the weak. That's where we come in.
My name is Jaakko Routa. I work for the Global Defense Agency, GDA. And if you are listening to this message, that means I'm probably already gone. Listen carefully. The things you're about to hear might not be pretty, but they are in any case the truth. These are my accounts from Operation AMBEPOINT. Moro moro, and welcome to Culinary Solo Playing. This solo series has been a long time coming. I have had so many plans to create a solo RPG series. It's something, solo RPGing overall is something that I'm really passionate about. I haven't had a proper opportunity to do it until now. So that's why I'm so excited. So Operation AMBEPOINT as a mini campaign is going to be a very leaning on themes like Metal Gear Solid, Splinter Cell, basically all like action movies from Die Hard to Rush Hour, maybe even action espionage, also a little bit gunzo from time to time. So I was looking for a system which to solo this campaign in. Many systems came through my table, and I actually was planning to do this on a number of different systems. But what I landed on right now is called Outgunned. And if you haven't heard of this system, I won't blame you, because it's not even out yet. It's called Outgunned Cinematic Action Role-Playing Game from creators of Two Little Mice. Two Little Mice previous games have been like sort of a Household and Broken Compass. And Broken Compass is basically Indiana Jones, the role-playing game. So yeah, disclaimer, not affiliated, not sponsored or anything like that. They have a Kickstart guide in their Kickstarter page right now, which you can download for free. And that's what I did. I really enjoyed the system. Straight off the bat, it felt like, yeah, this looks really soloable. Something that you could solo. If something doesn't work, don't blame the people who made the game. Because I have now, it's only a Kickstart guide, so it's very bare bones edition of the game, and I have now modified it a little bit to facilitate solo play. So for now, it hasn't originally meant to be played as solo. So if something like feels like it feels unbalanced or something like that, blame on me, okay? I'm not gonna get into nitty gritty of the rules right now. I think that if you download the Kickstart guide and read it a little bit, you understand what's happening here. But the basics of it is basically it's a dice pool game. We use D6s, and instead of like looking for successes like 5 or 6s or just 6s like in some dice pool games, I roll a bunch of dice depending on my attributes and skills like this. And what I'm looking for is I'm looking for doubles, 3 of a kind, 4 of a kind, and the more of the same you have, the bigger the success is. And the difficulty level of different tasks are the number of like the same of a kind you have to have in order for succeed in a certain task. And if you get extra successes, you can do extra cool stuff basically. There are more into the rules, but we will get into them when the time comes, okay? So now let's just jump into the campaign. And I think we should start with the mission brief for Operation AMBEPOINT.
Operation AMBEPOINT. Mission: evacuate Risso Mills, the only child and heir for the Mills Corp. Mills Corp is one of the biggest food producers in the global market, and therefore they have quite a few votes on the GGP. This kind of influence always tend to create a lot of opposing forces as well. Risso Mills was kidnapped while traveling with the company's private jet over the Pacific Ocean 3 weeks ago. Investigations resulted that an infiltrated unit had taken over the jet and steered it out of the intended course. With our intelligence operations, we were able to pinpoint Risso Mills' recent location to the game island. The island belongs to the private security and entertainment company Blackwind. Whether or not Blackwind was directly behind the kidnapping is still unknown. But we have a reason to believe that the Blackwind will force Risso Mills to participate in the game. The game is the Brutal Network's most streamed reality TV show, which is a real-life battle royal to the death. All contestants are publicly volunteers who are crazy enough to fight for glory and lucrative prizes. The show most often acquire convicts with a life sentence in exchange to win their freedom and place to work within Blackwind. The public death of the Mills Corp's heir would cause unhealthy fluctuation in the food market, where millions of civilians could not afford their weekly rations for months. Estimately thousands more will starve. Your primary objective is to locate Risso Mills and extract them out of the island alive. Your secondary objective is to find information about the kidnappers of Risso Mills. Is Blackwind working alone or with someone? You will be dropped into the game island into the ruined town AMBEPOINT. From there you will infiltrate as one of the game contestants. We need to send you an OSP and in deep cover. If Blackwind gets any idea that a third party is interfering with the game, they will most definitely reset the game by killing all the contestants with exploding collars they have installed to them. You will get a magnet unlocker tool which will open this collar. When you have found Risso Mills, your extraction point will be from the Deep Watch. Good luck, Operative Ruda.
Nice, there we go. Now we have been briefed, and like the brief said, we have to evacuate Risso Mills, who is probably around the combat zones of this reality TV show. I think Jaakko should try to get himself first into the Powder Town, because that is basically the most core center of this whole competition. So if Blackwind will send Risso basically to die in this TV show, he most definitely will be found in the Powder Town. So we have to act fast. I don't think Risso has so much time left, but we need some equipment. Like the briefing stated, we have been sent in OSP, which is taken from Metal Gear Solid and means on-site producement, I think. Which means that because this is so cover-ups, we cannot leave any trace of us being there. So if we would take equipment with us there, that would leave evidence. So we need to produce all the equipment we can from there, except for we have only the one tool, which was the magnet unlocker tool, which opens these explosive colors that the competitors have, which is really cool, which is really nice that we have, because otherwise it would be really difficult to evacuate Risso Mills. One more thing to mention about the Outgunned rule system is that it has this kind of very ideal for solo play, kind of this 6 to 8 shots or scenes as in one campaign. And the idea is to have these kind of not very short, but very concise adventures, and after that you will get to the next adventure. So it's not necessarily meant to be played as this very prolonged campaign where your character have a deeply development cycles or anything like that. So I'm planning to play this campaign with this adventure in mind, that we have 6 to 8 scenes to deal with. And we start with the scene 1. Infiltrate to the island via old urban area. Ruined City AMBEPOINT. I think Yakorota will get this message, this briefing inside a tube, like very this style of like if you guys have played Metal Gear Solid 1, where Solid Snake is sent via torpedo, we will get the debriefing underwater while we are riding the torpedo into the shores of the game island, ruled by the Blackwind Corporation. We are getting close to the shore. Probably the propeller will shut down before we get to the shallow waters, and the torpedo releases our protagonist Yakorota to swim on their own accord. And of course we only have like basic pants, basic like tactical shirt on, and we will just swim to the shore. As long underwater as we can. At what time the operation would be started? Yeah, I think we would benefit more to be sent in during the day. And we don't have much time. Riso mills will get executed within few days, probably, when the game starts. Actually, for the first time, ask the oracles how much time we have before the game starts and Riso mills is in like imminent danger. And for the oracle, I decided to use one-page solo engine, which is like very nice stripped down oracle, and it also has this kind of handy app that you can download for free, so it's easy to have like right next to here, and just press the button, boop, I will get my answer. So, and we can also ask different kinds of things, like now I want to ask how much, and there is actually oracle for that. How much time we have before Riso Mills starts to be in direct danger? I get an answer which states less than expected. So that means we probably think that the game will start like in maybe 2 days. But in actuality, it's probably already like starting. They want to like amp the numbers up for the live streams, and they are having this hype. So they are like, yeah, let's start it early. People are already here. People are expecting it. We want to like cash in on the hype. Oh, that's bad for us. I think we definitely have some kind of like communication device with GDA. They will definitely update Jaakko on this situation that the stream is gonna start. The game is gonna begin a lot earlier than they were expecting. Oh shit. I need to hurry up. Okay, so that's gonna definitely narrow our options, what we are able to do. I think we need some kind of vehicle. That is definitely something. I will actually write it here. That's our main priority, to get basic equipment and get some kind of vehicle that we can drive into the conflict zone really fast. So, Jaakko has just gotten into the shore. Like, he probably got the message while he was still like going through the shallow waters into the shore. We just soak ourselves dry as much as we can by jumping, and then we just start jogging, I guess, straight into ruined city of AMBEPOINT. It's gonna take us some time jogging this very kind of Nordic environment. This island is definitely somewhere more northern hemisphere, farther away from the I don't remember, middle point of the earth. Sorry, I can't remember my geography right now. Away from the more warmer areas of the globe and more the northern side. It's It's not winter, so it's not like all frozen up, but it definitely is like, it's very moist and it's very cold. What kind of town the AMBEPOINT has been in the past? There is definitely radiation zone to northwest of us, so that might mean that it's something to do with radiation. Maybe it's an old military point. Let's ask our oracles a little bit more advice. So oracle says it's a location, it's move technical, which means it means like it's physically to move something. So definitely it's some kind of like big storage area, storage facility. Probably this whole island has been some kind of like a militaristic nuclear research point, like at some time in the past for some nation, and now it's owned by Blackwind. And maybe just because it was originally a militaristic island, it was easier for them to like start facilitating it again as a military company. I'm sorry, I mean private security company. So yeah, it's definitely some kind of storage area that has facilitated all the materials needed to do this kind of atomic research, and also some other stuff that we don't know. How it looks, it's physically very complex. It's some kind of modern technology. Now the biggest one, how significant. It's extraordinary. When Yakarota gets closer to the facility, he sees something that he did not expect. He gets to this kind of uphill and start to see lights on the distance. It's day, so that means the lights are very strong, and there is not like direct sunlight. It's very cloudy day, and he starts to see the lights, so he starts to slow down. He goes into crawling position and starts to crawl the final distance of this hill. And behind the hill, he sees this fully operational, functional militaristic facility. He looks in awe and confusion and starts to talk to the GDA. HQ, this is Yakarota. I come across a bit of a problem. It seems like the AMBEPOINT has been fully refurbished and fully operational. It's not in fact abandoned like we first believed. Well, it's easier to get equipment. It's definitely easier to get a vehicle, but it's probably a highly guarded facility, and we have basically no equipment at all. There's definitely like driveways, so we don't necessarily have to go straight into the facility itself. There might be just like cars driving by, and we could take some basic equipment from the car. I think that's what we are gonna do. We are definitely not gonna go like into the heart of the AMBEPOINT, because that's not our mission. But this is definitely a great clue to know what is happening in the island. All right, that's our second objective. So, this is tough. This is the first episode and it's already a tough decision what to do. Yeah, we can't risk it. We have to prioritize the mission. We can come here again at some point, I don't know. But what Yakarota tries to do next is he definitely tries to find a good ambush spot where there's like a small cliff that he could jump straight into a car, try to hijack the vehicle and maybe some weapons and stuff. I think when he's planning his surprise attack against the goons of Blackwind Company, he will get a message to his earpiece, which will probably say something like, mission priority still stands, do what can be done, but you have your main objective, you know what to do. So I would think HQ also agrees that this is maybe a mission for different people, and we still need that extraction. Okay. He's trying to plan an ambush for bypassing Convoy. So it needs to be like a small, maybe one car, and we cannot know how many people there are inside, but we try to hijack a convoy that has maybe like, we are a special agent, so we can take down easily like 2 to 4 guys, but if it starts to be like if it's some kind of unit transport, then it can become really problematic. So yeah, let's try to find a proper target, our first role of the game. So the idea is to scout out a target that seems like it's a nice fit, and also how we execute it in a single role. I would say it's focus plus stealth. So we try to do it stealthily, we try to stay hidden, and we try to pick the right target to attack, and also the right moment. The nice thing about this game is also you can combine different attributes with different skills. Now we have to determine the difficulty. Basic would be 2 successes or 2 of a kind. Then next one is, I think, is critical success, which means we need to get 3 of a kind. Extreme success, which is 4 of a kind, and it goes up and up and up. I would say this only needs a basic success, so we need 2 of a kind. This is something that Yakurota is not very good at, so we only have 4 dice, which is not bad, but it's not the best. So Yakurota finds this kind of upper cliff point where he can see different convoys driving past like every 20 minutes or so. So there is definitely traffic. It's an active facility and different kinds of vehicles move past, bringing in stuff, taking away stuff, people, personnel probably as well. Empty van with probably 2 guards would be the best in this situation. So here we go. First roll of the day, we need to get 2 of the same. Wish me luck. Here we go. And our first failure. I got a 2, 1 and 2, 5 and 6. Great start. Yakurota sees the car coming, and it will drive past the cliff, and then he takes a deep breath. Okay, here we go. And jump! And he jumps from the cliff straight into the van. He gets in top of the van, rolls over and almost falls down, and he gets to grab on the side of the van just barely, and then he will slam into the side of the van, definitely alarming the guards that something is up. And probably they are just sitting down the car and just talking about like, yeah, that lunch was really bad to my stomach. I can still like feel what the fuck? And the other guard stands to like watch the side mirror, and the guard can see that somebody is hanging from the side of the van right now. Okay, I think we will immediately get into this kind of action pace, like in this combat pace kind of situation here, because it's a player facing system. That means GM doesn't roll any dice. There is only like an action phase to the heroes, and then there is a reaction phase where they have to roll to get out of harm's way. And depending on the situation, the GM will decide like which side starts first. And I think this is very clearly God is gonna like, or these 2 gods are gonna start. And how like villains are and how bad guys are depicted in this game is that you have this kind of 1 meter for like different kinds of units. So you need to get enough successes in a combat to defeat the enemies. I would say these guys are basic goons. Their attack and defense are both basic. We are right now hanging at the side of the van, still driving, and the other guard sees Yakuroda hanging on the side of the car, and he just like starts to squint. I don't know what way there's probably an electric window, like, and he starts to pull out his gun and just tries to instinctively first just shoot this stranger who jumps into their highly secured military island facility, like no questions asked, on a moving car, so the first reaction would be just start shooting. This is definitely gonna be a stunt roll. So our stunt is, we will definitely use our brawn here, our stunt skill, which is 2. So it's 5 dice, we need to get at least 1 pair. Here we go. And, oh, nice! We get 3 of a kind, 3 ones. And this means when we get, so we got a critical success instead of basic success. This means when you get 1 like grade better success, so this counts as 3 basic successes. So not only did we block the attack, we can also counter-attack or do some slight maneuver as well. The guard opens the window, tries to pull out this gun and starts to aiming at Yakuroda, but Yakuroda grabs the guard from the arm and also at the same time uses his leg to open the side door. He opens the door with his leg and the guard like gets pulled out from the vehicle with the with the door while he's holding the gun arm. 3 basic successes. 1 is to counter, 1 is to pull out the weapon, and 1 is to like open the door. So we don't do any like counter damage per se, but we got ourselves in a pretty good spot. There we go. That was an intense first round. So the driver is like, what is happening here? It's our turn. What we try to do, we have the gun now in our hand. Yakuroda will like holster the gun like into his pants and now tries to like swing inside, like next to the driver, to the shotgun, and also like kick out the person who is now is trying to clinging onto his life in that door. And definitely the driver is like pushing the pedal right now. So we will use now fight, definitely, and our brawn, which is really good. Yakuroda is really good at fighting. Here we go. Let's fight. And again, we need 2 successes, and every other success will give us like additional damage or crit. Oh, not that good. Well, we got 2 successes, what I'm talking about. Of course, that's pretty good. So 2 successes, which means we deal 1 crit to these enemies. They have 9, by the way. So that's 2 successes for us. I would say Yakuroda like jumps in and kicks the other guard like who is clinging onto the door, and like partially tries to like kick them off even further, and they still like hang on, but they're like, the other arm just went off and they're like, ah, ah! And he also jumps in next to driver's seat, and he also hits the guy in the driver's seat, which like will start to shake the car a bit. Okay, now we go again to the reaction phase. Full on, the driver just unholsters his gun and tries to shoot at us. To this reaction roll, I will give us 1 bonus because they are driving a car at the same time and try to hit us, so we are definitely like, we have the edge here. And this is again, I would say, fight. So we first rolled with 6, now we rolled with 7 because we are in very good position. We started quite bad, but we fixed our position quite well. So here we go. we have. Oh my god, we have here I got 3 doubles, which means this can be counted as either 3 basic successes or 1 critical success, so 1 step up. And I think in this situation it serves us that it's 3 basic things. So what we will do, the first one is to block the attack, and the 2 other we will just use to counter attack. So that's already 4 successes for us. So they pull the gun on us. Yakorota will quickly just block the weapon to the side, and he will hit the hand with his fist in a way that the driver just like screams in pain, like ah! And he pulls out his arm now without a gun, and the gun just like falls into the side. At this point, Yakorota can also like do a back kick from behind, where the other guard is trying to like come back inside the car, like taking a handhold from the car frame, and he gets kicked in the face, and the other guard just like flies off the car. And now the interesting question. No, I would say the car is still stable, but the other guard is definitely now out of the situation. Should we try to intimidate the guard to give us the car? Because we can. We have now the weapon. Yeah, that's what Yakorota is gonna do. He's gonna take the gun now from his holster and just like point the gun straight at the guard and shout like, "Stop the car!" I will just ask the Oracle at this point. Will the god stop the car? And I would say it's very likely that he will do that. Yes, and so the god like slowly drives the car to the side. Hey, okay, I stopped the car. Don't shoot me. I just started working here, and it's a horrible place. I promise we won't tell anybody. Just take the car, and yeah, we will just watch the other direction. I would actually be glad this place got like burnt down and stuff. So if you just let me go, we'll be fine. I'll take the other guy with me, and we'll just okay. So Yakorota orders the god to like give all the stuff that the god has, like the badges, possibly maybe some kind of key, and also the contents of the vehicle, which probably has something nice. Nothing like too dangerous or anything like that, because it was only 2 like basic guards that drove the car. Definitely Yakorota tried to stop a car which wasn't like too high profile in a sense, because that would have required a lot more work. At least he gets a handgun and also full mags. We got all the 3 mags that we can get. So in this game you basically don't like count ammunition, but always when you, well, the thing is, the rules state that if you fail like weapon roll in combat, that's one way to like how you run out of ammo, and you need to reload before you can like shoot again. But I would say after like, if it's not the first time you shoot your weapon in combat, then that would happen. And maybe if it happens on the first roll, your gun jams or something like that. And there's also, if you have a like full auto weapon, you can like shoot, like you can empty your magazine and get like extra dice to roll and stuff. So yeah, and I will also add us a key card, which we don't know where it goes yet. Island security key card. It's green tier, whatever that means, we don't know yet. Yakorota will probably say to the gods, and because we got yes and, they will believe him. Yakrota will just pretend that he is one of the contestants, and he's like, yeah, sorry guys, but I need these weapons to win the competition. And the other poor guard who just got outed from the moving car, it's like full on bruises. I would say the speed wasn't that fast, but yeah, the guard looks really bad, like probably a dislocated shoulder and full on bruises, and just like having a really bad day. And the driver god is like, yeah, whatever, just win your stupid competition. It's like, for us it's just not worth it. Like, take everything and go do your stuff, leave us out of it, please. So yeah, I would say Yakrota's cover is like fully intact, and he will just say like, because you played so nice, I will let you live. And they both just like, with their own pace, as like fast as they can, they will like get out of the way. Now we have actually 2 pistols, so we can go full akimbo if we want. Yakrota will like equip this pistol holster for himself. He will take the key card and strap it on his belt as well. Oh, before we go any further, we need to see what's inside the van. It's probably empty. Is the van empty? It's very likely that it is. No? Okay. What's inside the van? Oracles, tell me. There is simple oppose knowledge. Pose knowledge. It's some kind of, it's some kind of transmitter jammer. Yeah, it's like a, but it's simple, so it's not like very this kind of high-tech like handheld jammer. It's basically like maybe like a basic box-sized metal radio jammer that they were taking maybe to the guard tower or something like that. It might be confiscated stuff or something like that. We don't know where it was or where was it going, but we have now a radio jammer in our van. Radio jammer? Might come in handy. And he closed the back door, takes himself to the driver's seat, starts the engine, and starts to drive. And maybe now we can go, because now we have a car, we can go around the red zone, and we can start heading straight to the powder town, because we need to hurry. We didn't have that much time that we first thought that we have in this mission. He will just send one more message to HQ. HQ, this is Agent Rota. I have produced myself a transport, and I'm going to head into the game zone right now. Keep me updated about the live stream and the competition. Hopefully I'm not too late. Rota out. I would say that's basically our first scene. Very exciting indeed. We have infiltrated into the island. We have acquired the vehicle that we wanted. We have acquired some basic equipment. We are on our way to evacuating and completing our mission in Operation AMBEPOINT. This was very fun. Thank you guys for being here with me. And if you enjoyed this playthrough, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. The more likes, the more views this video gets. Definitely, I will most definitely make a new video, but the more likes the video gets, it will get higher to my priority to make it done. So the more likes the video gets, the more faster I will probably try to get out the next one, because I see like people like it, so let's do it. Let's do another one. But yeah, I had so much fun. Hopefully you had too. And see you on the next episode of culinary solo playing. Okay, bye.